Today we're going to talk about partnership disputes. If you're planning to leave a partnership, whether it's a partnership of 2 or a partnership of 200, what should you do before you leave? The first thing is make sure that you have whatever financial information about the partnership that you're entitled to. Now, you shouldn't be going and looking for things that you're not permitted to get. As a partner, you're typically going to be entitled to fairly broad informational rights about the partnership. So make sure that you have bank statements, make sure that you have credit card statements, make sure that you have tax returns. Now, if this is a closely held partnership, you also want to make sure that you have an understanding of what assets the partnership has and what the value of those assets is. So this might be money in a bank account, it might be investment accounts. I had a case involving 2 former law partners, and one of the issues was what was the value of the cases that were pending at the time. You also have to be mindful of any non-compete, non-solicit, or confidentiality agreements that you may have with the partnership. Now, the FTC recently passed a rule banning many types of non-competes, but there's been a lot of litigation over that, and there will be for some time. At least for the moment, in New York, non-competes could still potentially be enforceable, and you have to be careful about them. Even if you don't have a non-compete or a confidentiality agreement, you still have to be careful about what you do before you leave the partnership. Before you leave the partnership, you're still considered a partner and thus a fiduciary of the partnership. So if you're in a partnership and you're going out and soliciting business from clients or taking confidential information, that very well may give rise to a claim by the partnership against you for breach of fiduciary duty. It's also very important that when you leave, you don't take anything that you're not permitted to take, because that could give rise to other claims that the partnership has against you. Now, what happens next is going to depend on whether this is going to be an amicable wind down or partnership departure, or if it's going to be contentious. When litigation arises over a partnership breakup, we call this business divorce. Business divorce is oftentimes more acrimonious than marital divorce. You have a lot of hurt feelings and you have a lot of emotion on both sides. And people tend to fight over things that, in hindsight, they shouldn't have necessarily fought over. Now, you're often not going to be able to control how your former partner or partners react to your withdrawal or the dissolution of the partnership. What you can control is what you do before you leave the partnership, in not crossing any lines unnecessarily, and also making sure you have the right information and documents from the partnership, as well as how you give notice. You want to make sure that if you have a partnership agreement that has certain dispute resolution mechanisms or notice provisions, that you comply to a T with those provisions. As always, if you're looking to leave a partnership or have a business divorce, consult counsel early and often.